Another 4-day week this week, but another good one. We've had a good run the last few weeks. So if you watch this video, I'll tell you how it all went. Oh, good morning. Tuesday, 18th of June, and it is 5:25 in the morning. And we are starting our week. Just leaving the HQ of Anvil Logistics. And we're heading up to North Yorkshire, where we'll be collecting our goods. And we'll be taking them all the way down to Fareham, which is down on the south coast. So it's going to be a hell of a drive today. But it's one of the better paid jobs that I get off my customer. So we'll be not minding that journey. It is Tuesday. Didn't work yesterday because I took a day off. Extended the weekend, but also my wife, Mrs. Anvil, she had to have a bit of a procedure, and it meant that she was going to have to have anaesthetic. So I took her up to the hospital and drove her back because, although she said she reckons she'll be fine to drive, I don't think it's a good idea. So I took her, and she's fine. A little bit sore, but everything's fine, and they've sorted it out for her. So she's going to rest and recuperate for a few days now. So after another good week last week, we'll see how this week goes. This is a good start to the week because I've missed the Monday. This is really well paid, and we'll probably make up a bit for that. I fixed this thing when I got it at the wrong angle now. But never mind. So we'll see how the CX performs, if it can pick up any backloads or anything like that. Although I think my customers are quite busy this week, so I would imagine that we're going to be tied up with them for most of the week. But we'll see if we can get a backload from down here, but it's unlikely because it's going to be, after lunch when I get there. But we'll have a bash, and we'll let you know how the week goes. Well, it's Tuesday, 19th of June. It's 5:30 in the morning, and it is bright sunshine already. It's got the makings of a nice day today. Yesterday, I did my job down to Fareham. I had a token attempt to get a backload. I must admit, I didn't put my heart into it. Put a couple of speculative bids in, didn't get any of them. And quite frankly, I just headed straight home, and I was back home for around 5 o'clock, which was great considering such a long journey. So no backload money for me yesterday, but I wasn't too worried because of the job I was on was well paid enough to cover it anyway. Obviously, it makes more sense to get a backload. You can make even more money, but I wasn't too fussed. That squeaky noise, if you could hear it, was the wipers. It's clearing a bit of dead insects off the screen. So today, it's like rinse and repeat because I'm going to North Yorkshire, and I'm going this time to Farnborough. So it's not quite as far as Fareham, probably about 30 to 40 miles shorter distance, but still a good distance. And I expect to get there late morning, providing the traffic's reasonably kind. And again, we'll have a token attempt for a backload. Again, it's a well-paid job, this. I've got lucky with 2 on the bounce. And what that basically means is that today's Wednesday, obviously. I took Monday off. And with the job yesterday and the job today, it's equivalent to pretty much 3 days of a target that I set myself for the week. So it kind of negates the Monday I had off. So I've got a bit lucky really, a bit jammy with my own customers. I also had a phone call yesterday morning from, for those of you who've watched this channel before, will know that I used to have a regular kind of multi-drop run, which was with hazardous loads, and it was really well paid, and it lasted for about 4 or 5 months. It was always going to be a temporary thing while people were off, and then it came to an end, and I had to go back to scraping for work. But I mean, I always knew it wasn't going to last forever because the money was getting. There was no way that the head office of that company were going to put up with paying it forever. But they rang me yesterday offering me some more regular work. So I think they're a bit short-handed again, or they've got really busy. But I can't do it anyway because I've got this regular customer now, and so I have actually told someone else about it if they're interested. But they're quite busy themselves. But it just shows you, if you do a good job, then they might remember you and ring you again. So it's always good to leave a good impression, and don't leave on a bad note if you can help it. This new trusted payment scheme I see has gone live now. I've had an email. It's not really going to affect me in so much as that I'm not going to go for any factoring because I don't need or want factored payments or to get me money any earlier than already. But I suppose for people who might have a bit of a cash flow issue, it might be handy. But I always say that when you come into this game, you need to prepare yourself and set yourself up for at least 2 months, because it's going to take that long before the money starts to drip through. But people can get unexpected things come in and take all the money. I'm aware of that. So I hope it helps some people out. Are we all enjoying the football that's on at the moment, the Euros? I'm not really big on international football myself. I'm a Man City fan. So obviously I've been enjoying the last few years. Well, as long as it lasts, you never know. If these 115 charges stick, it might be the Northern Conference, but I'll still support City because I was a City fan back when we were crap. But international football, I don't know why, it just doesn't seem to do it for me. I did watch the game on, was it Sunday? And I wasn't really all that impressed. I thought that Bellingham fella was a really good player. And City's player, Foden, had a bit of a quiet game, but he was playing out of position. Anyway, that's as far as football punditry goes for me, because I don't profess to be an expert. I just like watching Man City. And that's it. So I'll keep you informed. If we get a backload, I'll let you know. But I'm not bothered either way, to be perfectly honest, which is not an ideal attitude, I know. But one thing I would do, if there was like a tasty hazardous load that was coming out from down south tomorrow morning, I would consider staying over. No tramping though. We're not getting in the van and washing our backside with wet wipes. It would be a hotel. I always have an overnight bag in the van anyway. But that'd tempt me. Other than that, it's go home to my home comforts, because if it goes to plan today, I should be home 4 to 4:30. And that's nice. Get an evening at home. Might even do a little bit more in the garden, which is taking shape nicely. Well, it's still the same day, but with a difference now. So I've just got this smug look on my face. Look at this knobhead just pulls out here. I'm on the M25. as an airplane landing at Heathrow. And I've got down to where I was going in Farnborough to find that the company I was delivering to is no longer there. The building was all closed up, apart from a couple of gardeners tending the grounds. They moved out months ago. So I rang the office, see if they could get more information, maybe if they've relocated to somewhere else, so I could go there. And I've been asked instead to take it back to North Yorkshire, where it's going to be rescheduled once they get all the full information. So that's what I'm doing. So I get paid now to take it all the way back up there. So we are not moaning. This will do us. I think I'm in the wrong lane here. As you can see, I'm not familiar with these down south roads. I want to carry on towards the M1. Right, that'll do me. That's for the M4. Don't want to be doing that. So it's all the way back, probably up the M1, and get myself back up to North Yorkshire. Probably get there about 4:30, and then home for 6, hopefully. But with a very, very lucrative day today, and you never know, if we keep our fingers tightly crossed, they may have sorted out the redelivery for this. Or they might have another delivery going somewhere else tomorrow that they might ask me to pick up tonight, which would be very nice. But either way, even if not, today will be a very lucrative day. Saves me the trouble of trying to find a backload or anything like that. Just a nice, smooth, long drive back, and pretty peaceful. So happy courier, smug face. Thursday the 20th, and you find me driving west on the A69 as I'm going towards Carlisle from Hexham. I wasn't too sure whether or not I'd be working today, and I didn't work first thing this morning. I had a really good day yesterday, as we know, because I got paid to go all the way back. And this morning, I had a couple of things to sort out. One was a tax issue, which is a minor thing, but it was bugging me, and that His Majesty's Revenue Customers are chasing me for a small amount, £250, which I don't mind. It's not a lot of money, but I didn't know what it was for. And it was bugging me, and the accountants were saying, you don't owe anything. And they keep writing to me, so I don't like having things hanging over me. So in the end, I decided to ring them this morning, because I had some things to do anyway. So I thought, right, I'm not bothered if I don't work tomorrow. I've done really well over 2 days, and I mean really well. I want to get this boxed away. So I rang them this morning, and I do owe it, and it's all from when I first set up the company and down to tax rebates and things like that. However, it's not a big amount, and I paid it. I paid it straight away once I spoke to them. They explained what it was, and also got them to send me a confirmation email so I can copy the accountant in. Quite why they didn't know, I don't know. But I'll be having separate words about that. But anyway, it's all up to date and everything's nice and squared away. And then I did my known cargo examination online this morning. So for those of you who know what that is, it just means I can take known cargo in a secure manner from a known cargo approved supplier directly to the airport, and it's already been cleared and declared as fit for travel, so it can go straight to the aircraft. Not by me. I don't take it to the aircraft. I take it to the air freight shipper, but it doesn't have to go through X-raying and fannying about. So I've now got that accreditation. I've got to wait until I've actually got my certificate. Was emailed to me immediately, but you have to have an ID badge as well. And I can then put that onto the CX, and then in theory, that work will appear on my feed. So if I'm, for example, near Heathrow, maybe, there might be a known cargo freight coming out that's going up towards Manchester Airport, which at the moment I wouldn't be able to see that. So it's another string to your bow, but it's also useful for my customer because we do deal with a lot of air freight. And it just gives me the opportunity to do more work for them. I don't think it pays particularly more, but if you've got more strings to your bow, you've got more chance of keeping working, haven't you? So having done all that, and it was late morning, pretty much made my mind up I wasn't working, but as is habit, I had a little cheeky look on the courier exchange, and it did seem quite busy. And I got a few speculative bids, and then I saw a job that interested me, only because of where it was going. It was going to an area where you don't expect to get a lot of work from. And I find, and it doesn't work in all the cases, that you can tend to get a decent price because of the fact it's going to an area where you don't expect to get work. So you can try and factor in some return home money into the price. Doesn't work every time, and it obviously takes a shipper who understands why you're bidding like that. So it was going from Manchester area, and it was going to Hexham, which is kind of between Carlisle and Newcastle, just off the A69. Wasn't hazardous or anything. It was a long wheelbase van job, and in fact, it was worktops. 3 of them to be precise, and they were 4.2 metres in length. So just about squeezed inside the van. Show you an image of them. So there they are, nice and long. So it didn't take a lot of space in the van, really, did it? And it wasn't a massive amount of weight. But I quoted this pretty high and pretty strong, under the basis of, if I don't get it, I'm not bothered. If I do get it, it's worth doing it. Because even if you have to drive back empty, you've kind of covered the cost of your fuel home anyway. And they rang me, gave me the job. So I didn't ask them on what basis they gave it me. I can assume that they're either understanding and understand that, you need to put a fair price on a job like that. There might have been a rush on it, or they might have looked at feedback. I don't know. But I got it when I didn't expect to get it. And I've done it as all pretty straightforward. Get them on. You see by the image, they were all strapped in. They had blankets around them and corners on them as well. And when I got there, it was going to an adventure centre right out in the old countryside. And they were rebuilding the kitchens. And there's guys there just help me get them off, no problem. And now I'm doing the journey back. I've got a journey on the CX, but realistically, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't expect to pick anything up the way I'm going, because I'm going to go down the M6 and then past, Cumbria. And I don't expect there to be any work showing until you got towards Preston, and I'm virtually home then. So I'm not worried. I didn't expect to earn any money today anyway. And it's given me a nice little tidy unexpected sum. And still home in good time. It's kind of just over half a day's work. So I'm pretty pleased with myself. I'm heading home now. I'll probably, if I didn't stop, catch the match, the England game. I'm not overly bothered about watching it, but if I get home and see it, fine. If not, I'll listen to it on the radio on the way back if I decide to stop. So not bad today. I've done well this week, considering I didn't work Monday, and I've still got tomorrow to go. And I've got myself another qualification. Been quite a productive week so far. Morning, it's Friday now. It's just after 6 a.m. and we are loaded at Manchester Airport. Just leaving Manchester Airport now. And we are going to Clydebank, Glasgow. Picked up some air freight, and it came in overnight, and it's needed as soon as we can get it there. So I didn't have to wait too long, which was a nice surprise, because sometimes when you go into some of the cargo handlers at the airport, you do wait a while. But one of the benefits of getting in earlier is that there's not many other vehicles there, and I was able to grab the freight once I processed the paperwork through and release notes, etc. And we are heading up to Clydebank, which is not too bad a drive. It's about just under 4 hours. So it'll just be a pretty straightforward run up, really, from here. M56, M60, 61 M6, I would imagine. And then it changes to M74. So, pretty easy run. I do like driving up to Scotland. I would prefer not to do it on a Friday, of course, because you're less likely to get yourself a return load. But hey ho, we'll try our best to get one if we can. But there's no guarantee. But we have had again, and I'm touching wood, we've had a good week again this week. I really cannot moan. It has been another cracker. Let me just see if I can straighten that out. I don't know if that's any straighter, to be honest with you, but it'll have to do. I'm not messing about with it when I'm driving anymore. So, yeah, a few weeks on the bounce now with good results. So, does that mean that things are picking up? What is the experience of all you lot out there? Are you finding things are getting slightly better? Now, I'll admit, I've only done one job on the courier exchange this week. The rest of the work has come via my customer. So it's difficult to gauge what the courier exchange is like. I did a job yesterday, as we know, and I got, decent money for it as well. But I don't honestly know whether or not everyone else is doing okay. I do follow the chat on the chat group that I'm in. Well, I'm in a couple, one with some of the YouTube guys, and they seem to be doing okay. And one with James Fletcher's group. And normally that's really busy, that chat group, but it hasn't been busy recently. So does that mean everyone's been too busy to be chatting? And there's not all that much in the way of moaning and disappointment going on it. So hopefully, I'm hoping that means everyone's keeping rather busy and doing okay. But you lot out there in YouTube land, how are you doing? Please let us know in the comments what it's like at the moment for you lot. I've done well, and the last few weeks I've done really well. And again, this week it was only working 4 days, and we've gone over target again this week. So long may it continue. It tends to come in dribs and drabs sometimes, but I'll take it. It looks like it's going to be a cracker of a day. The sun's out already, and I do like driving up to Scotland. I don't, maybe not on the way up, but on the way back I might be treating myself to the obligatory sausage roll from T-Base Services. I do like them, and they are, of course, an essential part of my diet. If I'm to maintain this athletic body, then I really need to get a T-Base sausage roll. So I think this is an appropriate time to end this week's Week in the Life of, because it's been a decent one. It's nice to have a bit of positivity instead of me whinging all the time, innit? So I hope you all have a great weekend. I'm once again venturing into the garden and also replacing some guttering. The life that I lead is so exciting. Got no gigs on or music this weekend, so I've decided to do the guttering that's been leaking a bit, and when it chucks it down, it's pouring out everywhere. So we're going to do that. And maybe if Sunday's nice, might go out for a day somewhere. The wife's not been very well, and she's been a bit stir crazy because she's been off work, and maybe a trip out somewhere for the day would do her a bit of good. We'll see how that goes anyway. But everyone else, have a cracking weekend. Thank you for following this channel. Thank you for watching. Please give us a thumbs up. That button below you, just press it. It helps the channel get out there. And again, why not subscribe? Doesn't cost you anything. No commitment on your part. All it does is help the channel get out there. And it also informs you when there is a new video out. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.